the fact that, traders, what we do is we tend to already have a bias on something, and we simply use the charts or the different tools that are on our screens to kind of confirm our bias, rather using the data that we're seeing from our platforms objectively to make that trading decision. So it's going to help you deliver objective analysis based on common trading rules. So most of the rules that you have maybe heard us teach over the years, whether there are best practices for entering the position or closing the position. And best of all, just no more copying and pasting prompts. Everything is already built in for you into the custom GPT that we have built, right? So that's kind of what we have spent the last few months working on. And I want to give you an idea as far as what we focused on. There's 3 areas of focus that this current version of Ask Options Play is designed specifically for. And I will tell you, there are a lot of areas that we want to take it to, but for now, version 1, what you have access to here today, these are the 3 things that you can have access to. First of all is idea generation. Now, when you're evaluating an idea and you're thinking about, should I place this trade? There are rules that we generally have in place to help you evaluate whether this is a trade that you should place or not, whether that's the max risk of the trade, whether you're looking at volatility, whether you're looking at whether there's earnings coming up, different rules that we have put in place to help you evaluate each idea. We had put together actually 7. So this slide, even though we put this together just a few days ago, is actually already a slightly old. We're constantly working on improving this. So there's actually 7 common rules that we are looking at, including position sizing, for each trade idea. And I'll show you how to use that. But it basically helps you score every trade idea that you have out of 7, so that you can kind of get a sense for whether you are getting a good, whether how many of the 7 rules you are looking at that matches with the trade idea that you're looking for. The second thing we focused on is position monitoring. This is something that I think a lot of traders struggle with. Once you're in a position, how do you decide whether it's time to close out a trade, whether it's time to take profits, whether it's time to cut losses? We have over the years taught you fairly black and white, clear rules with regards to when it is time to potentially take profits, cut losses, and just generally speaking, manage your positions, whether that's something as simple as a covered call or something as complex as an iron condor. Now, for those of you that trade a specific strategy very often, you might have memorized some of these rules, and maybe it's at this point you might have applied these rules. However, not only do the rule applications require you to monitor the positions actively, but it also requires you to memorize these rules and apply them consistently. And that is really where I think a lot of traders fall short, right? There's a lot of steps that's required before you get to a point where you're ready to apply the rules as is. So our new ChatGPT assistant basically can look at your portfolio and help you determine if and when any of your positions require monitoring. And lastly, chart review. Generally speaking, chart technical analysis is probably one of the areas that I see in my 17 years of doing this, where traders tend to be most inconsistent with their applications of technical analysis. And this is really where confirmation bias is probably most commonly, where I see it most common, where instead of using technical analysis as a way to objectively view the direction of a chart, we tend to just use indicators to confirm what we originally are thinking anyway. So whether we're bullish or bearish on a stock, we might just simply keep looking for new indicators until we find one that matches our bias, rather than simply using the technical indicators to help us determine whether the indicators agree with our directional view. So these are the 3 areas of focus that our current version of our custom Ask Options Play GPT will help you become a more disciplined and objective viewer of ideas, positions, and just generally speaking, the research that you're doing on your trading. Okay, so Within trade ideas, what we're doing is predominantly helping you avoid overtrading and evaluating your trades against 7 common trading rules. This is generally speaking to avoid trading size that is outside of your risk tolerance and make sure that the trades that you're trading align with things like market trends, volatility, statistics like liquidity, daily price movement, earnings check, IV rank. These are the types of things that we are checking for. Now, you don't have to have a score of 7 every single time you place a trade, but you should at least be aware of, out of a checklist of 7 things, how many of them have you checked off?